First off, let me talk my... Got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my... It's a bad...
It's week 13 of the 2022 season, and we'll get a look here at DeAndre Hopkins. And big plays follow him around.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. The Charger offense makes its way out for the first time in this ball game, and leading the way, already a star in just his third season. It's Justin Herbert. Herbert on the first play wants to pass it. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. 5 catches, 69 yards.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number 1 in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched him on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 16 kick. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Now Jones. Brown with his stick skills. They only needed 1 yard on third down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Hey, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to it. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Throwing Jones. Got this complete to the Italian Pitts. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it. 1st and goal. Operating from the gun. Jones. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jarvis Landry. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. with it, looking to pass. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They didn't want to crash in the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's Herbert. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Landry now on the return. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Harris. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They'll run again with Harris. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Looking to throw. Jones. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Sam Hubbard able to record his 5th sack of the season. On 4th down, on is Colby Wadman now to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into 1st downs and hopefully points.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Now the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Fresh off of 6 the other way, it's Herbert. Got a man, that's Richie James. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Nothing the score. This is the NFL. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front, so when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Yeah, this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And it's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The Raiders had 8-3 now. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So, you know, they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Najee Harris. That's rushing touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Raiders have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Herbert. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare in the first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I suppose we go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. This one quickly into the hands of Landry. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. On now is the field goal team. Here's the Raiders. We'll try for 3. And his kick is good. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see it. Offense and the defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating, and it allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So out come the Raiders. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Harris running straight ahead. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Back to throw. Jones. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now Jones going to throw on 3rd and goal. And that's caught by Landry for a Las Vegas touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Raiders are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. LA set to take over again on offense. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. We always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it up. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert. And once again, this is Sanders. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. And it's caught. Touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie. from 17 yards out. And the Chargers are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is down to 24. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Taking it about the 1. Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Wide receiver A.J. Brown. You see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes come your way, too, because I've got to get coverage in his direction.
Jones now throwing on first down. And that is incomplete. Well, these two teams, they met up. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play.
After review of the play,
challenge is successful. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. From the 6. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Chargers going to take over here one more time before the half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. From the 31, Herbert. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Wide receiver A.J. Brown. You see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Here's Jones on 3rd down. And this one is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Back to throw here, Herbert. Then he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And this will be incomplete. Well, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now Landry. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And they will take over 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 89 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. 1st down, and they go back to Harris. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. That's swung out wide to Sanders. 2 yards on the pickup there. 3rd and 7 now.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. 35 yards that time on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Now a give. Running left is Harris. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Jones. And he coughed it up, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Can almost see inside his face mask there, the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone came around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They hand this off to Harris. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. From 13 yards out. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Flushed out right. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Herbert now. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. This offense on 3rd down today, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Herbert. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Play action. It's Herbert. Complete to Likely on the out route. Touchdown, L.A. And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches, laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Najee Harris and the rest of this offense work their way back onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him.
Nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. They'll run it. This is James Robinson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the 1st. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. first and 10. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Second down and a run by Robinson. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So from Charger territory now, here's a first and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he gets it down to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's got room. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Robinson up the middle. He will push his way down to about the 14. 8 yards to go on second down. On the give, this is Harris. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return, and they'll bring it out to the 25. There's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every...
And, my goodness, another interception. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And they take a knee.